There is a situation going on with the VTuber Yozoro Mel. Complicated situation. We're going to have a lot to look at and talk about in this video. I read one of the translations, and that's part of why this is complicated. Mel's statement is in Japanese. There have been a couple different people translating it, and the translations seem mostly the same, although slight differences. I read one full translation, I skimmed through another. That's how I saw some slight differences. So we'll take a look at least two of the translations here and compare them and get the full scope of what's going on here. Again, a weird and seemingly complicated situation. We'll do our best to figure out what's going on in this video. Thank you for joining me. Let's get into it. Shout out to Jimmy Firecracker for the tag. I appreciate the news tip. Says basically at Hero Hey, there is some weird stuff going on to this VTuber. And here is one of the translations. Shouts out to this person, Liger T. They say a rough summary of the contents of this letter. Parts that I was not confident on have been omitted with explanation. Before we read that, I would also like to give my disclaimer. Of course, I am not fluent enough in Japanese at all, and that's even putting it lightly. I know like a very rudimentary level of Japanese, an embarrassing rudimentary level. So I don't know for sure if these translations are accurate. That's why I'm taking a look at a few different sources, but even still, I can't really confirm that they're accurate. I think given the circumstances and given how they corroborate each other, it's pretty safe to say that this is probably an accurate translation, and I haven't seen these people getting backlash for spreading like fake news or anything. So I'm going to go with it being at least close to accurate, hopefully very close to accurate, but please make your own opinion on that as well. So disclaimer aside, let's continue. Also, if I may humbly ask for a thumbs up on this video, that would be awesome. There's going to be a lot of reading and talking. It's going to be a long-winded video, might struggle, so that will help get the news out there. I appreciate you. Liger's translation of Mel's statement starting now. Rough summary of Mel's letter. Starting in October of last year, Mel became the victim of a serious harassment campaign through numerous throwaway accounts on Twitter and email. Those messages contained malicious and harassment directed specifically at her by her name. At first, she figured that this sort of thing simply came with the territory of being a VTuber. It is the internet after all, so she simply blocked and muted the Twitter accounts as they came up. However, the harassment did not stop. The accounts kept increasing in number to the point where she could no longer keep up with blocking them all. Obviously, this was causing her a lot of stress. Then came her planned 3D birthday stream on October 31st. She got another piece of harassing email just prior to this, except this one had one thing that set it apart and made everything even scarier. The email contained the sender's name. So I'm going to have a theory on this already early on. Although, to be fair, I did read this already once, like I said, and skimmed through the other one. I am not sure what's going on in this situation. I do want to spend more time reading it to get the full scope of it, to be sure I get the full scope of it. But in my opinion, from what I've seen already, I think what we might have here is jealousy. It sounds like this VTuber, this is really creepy stuff. This VTuber might have someone in real life who was a friend or someone that knows them in real life. And it sounds like they're very jealous that their VTuber career, so to speak, is going really well. So that's my theory, but let's see. Let's continue on. So again, kind of hinging that on this piece of information, the email contained the sender's name and more information to come. Continuing. It was someone she knew, someone she had interacted with numerous times before. Understandably, this scared the you-know-what out of her. She immediately contacted the police and CEO Teneal, as well as other appropriate staff at Cover Corporation. At the time, it wasn't clear if the email had really been sent from the individual it was stated to be, but the alleged sender was someone who would have known Mel's personal information, as well as her schedule. Super creepy. In light of this, police advised her not to do the 3D stream, as this would have involved physically going to HoloLive Studio. At the time of the 3D birthday stream, since the situation was still very uncertain, staff announced the reason it was canceled was Mel feeling unwell. So what a shame that is. Cancels the birthday celebration stream and everything. It gets worse though. Mel apologizes to all the fans who were looking forward to it. She says she was also looking forward to it and thanks everyone who celebrated for her on the 2D stream that took place instead. Around the time this initially happened, police were unfortunately unable to take action. We have a little side note here from the translator. It says, this part is a little tricky. She's using vague language so as not to name names or specify who she's talking about, and I will also refrain from giving guesses as to whom she might be referring to. So let me just say, I mean, obviously, I think you guys know, I have no idea who they could be talking about. I just found out about this VTuber today, so my theory is very vague. I have no idea specifically who it could be. Don't think I need to say that, but might as well mention that here. Basically, the people she hoped would support her in a time like this did not give her the support she needed. Whoa, that sucks. Despite knowing what was going on. So I don't know. Yeah, like the translator said, this part's vague. Because at first it kind of sounds like she's talking about her community not giving her support, which kind of contradicts the above. But no, I think, it's talking about personal people in her life, I suppose, maybe family and friends knowing about the situation, like personally. Despite knowing what was going on, their actions were insensitive, which caused further stress and exhaustion for her. Since she wasn't getting the support she needed, a friend reached out and helped put her in contact with a lawyer. And that's when Nick Recated, no, okay, bad time for a joke. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe there's never a bad time for a joke. I don't know. With help from the lawyer, let me finish the joke at least, because Nick Recated always saves the day. He's a great guy. Okay, joke's done. With help from the lawyer, they got the person named in the email to admit to being the one sending the emails and doing the Twitter harassment as well. Another side note, she says something here regarding the handling of her personal information and the people involved in helping her deal with the situation, the possibility of a leak of her personal information, etc. It sounds like things definitely weren't handled as well as they could have been, but there are some legal terms here as well as some language that I'm not confident on, so I won't say more beyond that. As a result of these events, Mel understandably took a break from her VTubing activities for a few months due to the stress and fear. During her leave of absence, she found a lot of encouragement in reading supportive messages on Twitter, seeing fan art, and seeing people who had newly discovered her. She sincerely thanks those fans. And of course, I'll link her channel, her social stuff in the description here if you guys want to go show her some love as well. As of March 2020, the harassment from the individual has stopped and things are moving towards a resolution. Mel deeply apologizes for her sudden disappearance and causing fans to worry about where she has been. She wasn't sure if she should even speak up about what happened, but she doesn't want any other HoloLive members to go through what she did. She hopes that by speaking up, she can prevent this sort of thing from happening in the future. And, it's actually cut off a little bit. I'm sorry about that. Here we go. She wants to remind everyone, do not question people not involved with this incident, especially other HoloLive members and her illustrator REDACTED, about what happened. Furthermore, do not spread information not contained in her statement as if it were truth. Now, I highlighted this preemptively because, I don't know if this is the truth. I'm hoping this translation is accurate. Like I said, my reasoning for it seems fair enough. At least I think so. Hopefully you agree with that. But at the end of the day, yeah, you got to make your own opinion on this. So, I don't know. It ends with this. She still loves the HoloLive members, all her viewers, and all her fans, the Kapu Min, and she hopes that, if possible, she can have fun streaming again. Kind of theorizing on this, it's really weird, isn't it? So, it seems like it's someone from her personal life. When you start hearing how people in her personal life were not that supportive of the situation, it makes me wonder if it really was someone close. Like, I wonder if that inner circle of personal people that she's referring to in her statement, I wonder if the person sending these emails and stuff is a part of that circle, and that's why some of those people in the circle didn't support her so much. I don't know. I'm not trying to justify it by any means. I think it's very wrong what happened to her. I'm just trying to figure out the situation the best I can with the information that we have. Really weird stuff. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's read one more translation just to kind of compare and to get another scope of the situation. Translation by Mizma. Their disclaimer: this is not an official translation and may not reflect the views of the original accurately. Please do not take this as an official source of information. Please do not inquire about this translation to any HoloLive members or cover core. Thank you. They also added this: forgot to mention, the issue has stopped since March 2020 and she is taking steps to resolving the issue. She still needs to recover, but is deeply grateful to everyone for their support for her. So we know that already. It's just that they apparently forgot to mention that in their translation, so they mentioned it there. Now let's take a look at their translation. Hello, I'm sorry for not being able to stream for some time. I would like to take this time to report on the following. Events that was happening since October 2019, reason behind the cancellation of my birthday 3D stream, current situation, to all my supporters. Events that was happening since October 2019. I've been receiving very terrible emails via several anonymous sources and Twitter accounts since October 2019. I've confirmed multiple slanderous and other terrible tweets via multiple anonymous accounts. I initially ignored the tweets using the mute function. I think it is a usual internet issue. By the way, let me just make a disclaimer again here. I'm changing some of the words because you start to hit a threshold, at least in my opinion, that's how it works. I don't want to hit that threshold and have issues with this video. I'm already a little nervous that it might, given how much we've said these words already, but what can you do? I try to find a balance between it all. Continuing. Initially, I ignored the tweets using the mute function, thinking it is a usual internet issue. As days progressed, the issue continued to escalate with a growing number of accounts as I continued to mute new similar accounts. It has become mentally exhausting as the issue continued in frequency. Reason behind the cancellation of my 3D birthday stream. As such conditions continued, I received an email on the date before my birthday 3D stream on 31st of October 2019. The email contained the similar messages and slanders seen in the tweets. One difference was that the email contained the name of the email sender in the header. The name was of someone I knew very well. At the time, I was not sure if this name was the actual sender of this email, but since the name should not be known to the public, I took the issue to the police, Yago CEO, and staff at CoverCore. At the time, it was not clear who the real sender was, considering the fact that my personal information is known. My schedule is also known. The police advised to not go to the studio for the 3D live stream on 31st October due to the situation. We have decided to cancel the 3D live on October 31st. At the time, there was many unclarity in the situation and was not able to disclose the situation. I announced the cancellation as a poor physical condition. At the time, I was looking forward to the 3D live stream. That's so sad, man. That's so disappointing. I'm very sorry to all of my fans who are looking forward to the 3D live more than myself, and viewers who celebrated my birthday in the 2D stream for having to cancel the 3D live stream in the last minute. So sad, man. Also, I'm sorry I cannot share the truth until now. The current situation, I did consult with the police. The police were not able to act within the uncertain situation at the time. I had grown weary without the support and mental care that should have been provided for the people around me. This reminds me of a situation that came out of Japan, I think at this point it was a year ago now. Yeah, probably about a year ago. I'm going to be vague because the situation was pretty graphic, but maybe this is a bad comparison because this is a terrible thing that happened to this lady too. It's just, the similarity reminds me of the police not doing anything. Except this situation I'm about to tell you was a little crazier. So this lady, if I recall properly, she was getting threats from a fan or something, and he even specified that he was going to meet her, like in real life. I forget exactly what went down. Again, this was like a year ago, but the implications were pretty dang clear what this guy was going to do. And she went to the police. They didn't do anything, and sure enough, this dude did find her by a train station or something like that, and did some terrible things to her. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's messed up, man. So at least her situation seems to have resolved better than that one. I had to resort to help from a lawyer with an advice from my friend. With the help of the lawyer, we inquired about the email that was sent on the day before the birthday. We confirmed that the person named in the email admitted in sending the email, also admitted to sending the terrible tweets using multiple accounts. We had agreed to seek settlement. I was truly frightened during the whole issue and also had many frustrating moments. And finally, it says the wording is confusing, so the translation may be incorrect in the following section. During the settlement and measure against the counterpart, there is also risk in personal information leak of the counterpart. To this end, we agreed that personal info shall be handled with great care. Share the info before the measure is taken to discuss course of action with the counterpart contact point. Although this was agreed in advance, the communication was always after all actions. Also, this information was only shared after a letter of demand. This fact itself is resentful. With this situation, I have grown tired, weary, and anxious about continuing the VTuber activity. This is the reason why I've been inactive for the past half a year. I am sorry to have worried many of you supporters. The issue has stopped since March 2020 and is heading towards resolution. Wait, I thought this person said he didn't add that in the translation, but apparently they did. Okay. To all my supporters, when I search on Twitter, there are many warm words as well as fan art, tweets of new fans, which has been a big help. Thank you all. I was not completely sure if I should disclose the situation to the fans in the hope that similar situations may be prevented in the future, not just for myself, but all other HoloLive members. I've decided to disclose the situation. Please refrain from inquiring about this issue to people who are not directly related to this issue, especially other HoloLive members and my mom, Ariyama-san. Please also refrain from spreading word of any uncertain information or speculation, which I really hope I'm not doing in this video, as I've said a few times now. But I think, multiple translations, no one really complaining about it. I think we're good, I hope. I'm sorry for being selfish, but I love everyone at HoloLive, our listeners, and Kapumin, my fans. I hope I can enjoy live streaming one day. HoloLive Yozoro Mel. Wow. This is something else, man. I just found out, well, not really. I didn't just find out about the VTubers. I've been watching them for a little bit. But as you guys know, I've been getting more into the VTubers recently. Let me rephrase it like that. And I've really been enjoying just how much of a great community it is. And it's just warm. It's warm and friendly and nice. And, it's a good time. They have good memes, good stuff all around. I was like, it's nice to see a community that doesn't really have any drama. But, I guess, as they say, it's the internet. The internet will do internet things, I suppose. It's a messed up situation. All right, so as you can see, those two translations are pretty similar. There are some divergences, but they seem to corroborate each other for the most part. If anything comes out saying that these translations are fake news, I will probably just delete the video. I mean, I could make like a pinned comment, probably just delete the video though. I don't want to be spreading anything like that. I am inclined to believe, as I said a few times now, that this is accurate enough to report on. So let me know what you think about this situation in the comments below. And I guess we'll start wrapping this one up. Man, I hope she goes back to streaming. Again, I'll link her Twitter and stuff in the description. and I'd like to see her start streaming again. It seems like she enjoys it. She's got a lot of people out there that want her to get back into it. Hopefully she does. Shout out for the Shield Hero video, the promotions for that. Thank you all very much. Amethyst T, Shogun, Striker R, That Geek with the Glasses, Lancaster Kid, Ice Cream is Just an Illusion, Wolf's Resurrection, Baku Girl, Darkest Light, Coden, Midoriya X, KJC, 2 Zippos, We All Live in the Matrix, On the Brain, and also Crispy No Ken. Thank you all. See you soon.